When I said to my boss I'd like a Rolls-Royce, this is not exactly what I had in mind. Today we're in Abu Dhabi. We're at the Etihad Airways Innovation Centre, and my special guest is the Senior Vice President Marketing at Etihad Airways, Shane O'Hare. We're going to be discussing the two latest aircraft to join the Etihad fleet, the 787 and the mighty A380. So please join with me in welcoming my special guest, Shane O'Hare. Shane, welcome to the Spotlight. Thank you very much for joining us today. Great to have you on the programme. Now we're sitting here in the Etihad Innovation Centre. It's a fantastic setup. What's the purpose exactly?
It's remarkable, isn't it?
It is.
This is the culmination of everything we do. We need to be reminded every day. Big corporations, it's often easy to lose the long-term picture when you're very busy doing the day-to-day. So we've built this innovation centre just not only to remind us that innovation is the key to our success, but also as a living, breathing, working space where we can showcase our innovative products, test our innovative products, immerse our people in the whole innovation culture at Etihad. And we even train crew, and we bring many groups like yourself and others through the centre to showcase what Etihad's all about. So this is really the heart of our DNA right here.
You recently introduced two brand new aircraft to the Etihad fleet, the A380 and the 787, and your marketing tagline at the moment is Flying Reimagined. What does that actually mean?
Okay, well, Reimagined really means exactly what it says on the tin. Reimagined is about looking at the status quo and challenging the status quo and looking to see how we can differentiate our products and services to do things differently, not for the sake of doing them differently, but to look across at what our guests really like and what our guests are really looking for in an airline experience, and also taking their imagination a few steps further, and so bringing all that together to develop new products and services. And you see this very well manifested, of course, in the as you've seen in the mock-ups here, and if you those that have flown on the A380 and the 787. These are not only the most luxurious aircraft in the world flying today very clearly, but they're also the most innovative so far as the thoughtfulness of the detail in the product, and also the intangibles, because obviously you need the intangible service, is the intangible service delivery that goes with the hard product.
Now, many people would say that in introducing the Residence, which is your first class product, yes, that you've leapfrogged the opposition. Tell us about the Residence.
Well, the Residence is again born out of a customer need, and also the reimagination. So, well, actually, where do you go from? We've seen where first class has evolved over the years, from a pretty standard, sleeper seat to that doesn't recline fully, around about 60 inches of seat pitch, up to the basic first class flat bed product these days, about 80 inches. Then you get into the whole cocooning issue about the suite having a privacy, closing doors, and so where do you take it from there? So I think the general feeling of our customers is that where we'd really like to see it is it's somewhere between a private jet experience, but also having a nice suite in a hotel. So it's kind of like a very chic New York apartment, if you like, at 40,000 feet.
And I believe your own butler.
And your own butler. And the butler is trained by the Savoy Hotel in London. So and that's when I say the detail and the innovation. We've introduced the butler, but we also said, well, actually, where can you get the best butler training? We can't do it, so we've partnered with the Savoy in London. And now we have a great relationship with the Savoy, and we're looking at other programs that we can do with them.
If I wanted to book the residence now for a flight, say between Abu Dhabi and London, what would it cost me?
It's going to cost you about $21,000 US. Now, you could go to a private jet broker, and I guarantee that's very good value for money.
Is that per person?
No, that's for the residence. So it's effectively the same as purchasing a private plane. You're actually reserving that space, like a hotel room, if you like, for that price.
You've been offering the residence now for approximately 6 months. What's been the reaction amongst your customers?
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's exactly as we expected and as we planned, and there's a great market, particularly here in the Middle East, but also in the UK. It's a very heavily trafficked route, London, Abu Dhabi, and of course the A380. We have 3 flights a day currently between London and Abu Dhabi, and the A380 will be extended to all of those services by the end of the year. And mid-year we'll be introducing London and New York on the A380 as well, and we expect the take-up to be just as enthusiastic.
Another new aircraft in the Etihad fleet is the 787. What's that like as an aircraft?
It's absolutely fantastic. It reminds me of a McLaren car. The livery is fantastic. The new facets of Abu Dhabi livery designed by Landor and Associates is exquisite. It sparkles in the sunlight. 787-9 is a beautifully proportioned aircraft. It is absolutely beautiful to look at. So it helps with the actual design of the interior of the aircraft, with the technology that Boeing have brought into the 787. We all know about the bigger windows and the mood lighting facilities and the wider cabin and the higher ceilings. It's just a really magnificent aeroplane.
So in the guest section of the aircraft, in the back of the plane, what innovations have you introduced?
The economy class is, we've introduced the Smart Seat, which is a very extra comfortable, very well designed seat with every conceivable gadget that you can fit into an economy class seat, everything down to the detail of the magnetic release headphone jacks and the on-ear headrest, which allows you effectively in any seat to feel like you're on the cabin wall. And we have the soft furnishings as well, so the innovative pillow design, the headsets are noise cancelling.
Even in the back?
Even in economy. So it's a very spacious cabin, and particularly in the A380, it's a very, very comfortable ride.
Now, you recently launched a new advertising campaign featuring Nicole Kidman, who of course is an Australian. You're an Australian. The president of the airline is an Australian. Did I detect an Australian an Aussie takeover here?
Steve, it's completely coincidental. And as Australians, we love the stars that have made it overseas, and we have a lot of those. But Nicole was chosen for her incredible style, great personality. She's very good looking, of course, but she represents very well the Etihad brand and the positioning of Etihad, and we thought best reflected the introduction of our new product, innovative product, the A380, the residence, but was also a great ambassador, if you like, and spokesperson for Etihad. And we were absolutely delighted with the way that she responded to Etihad through the making of the commercial, and she's become an incredible advocate almost overnight.
Let's talk about in-flight entertainment and connectivity, which a lot of our viewers are very interested in. Which for you are the priorities? Regular IFE, live TV, connectivity?
The regular IFE is always going to be the baseline. We saw from our conference yesterday in my address keynote that embedded systems are here to stay, and there's around 11% growth year on year in the embedded systems, and I think it was around 58% of the world's aircraft are flying with embedded systems. And I think that the demands of the guest are such that the embedded system works best for airlines. But of course connectivity is going to become increasingly popular or increasingly important. We spoke about the need for simple applications where there is an amalgamation, if you like, for the guest to be able to use their mobile devices. And as we all know, more and more we are relying heavily on our mobile devices for a variety of activities, not just making phone calls anymore. It's just about everything we do in some way that we're relying on our mobile devices. So it's very logical that that translates into the in-flight experience. Live TV has been a great innovation for us, and to be able to, on the satellite, be able to receive, as we do on Etihad 6 live TV channels. It works perfectly and enables you to keep in touch. So overall, it allows our guests to be in control, and the more that our guests can be in control, the better flying experience and more relaxed flying experience they're going to have.
Shane, it's been great talking to you. I have just one final question to ask you. Since the launch of Etihad, there's been intense rivalry between yourself, Etihad, and Qatar Airways and Emirates down the road to see who can be best, who can innovate the most. Do you think there'll ever come a time when the presidents of these three airlines, Messrs. Al-Bakr, Hogan and Clark, will get together and say, okay guys, that's it, enough is enough?
Look, Etihad and Qatar Airways and Emirates all have great respect for one another as airlines, and they're all great airlines. But the competition is alive and well, and we focus on our guests and we focus on our guests' needs, and we will continue to develop products and services around the needs of our guests, and thereby always strive to be ahead of the game in the competitive field. So the answer to your question is that all of us will continue to compete to give our guests and customers the best choice. And this also raises the standard, not just for us as we compete in the market environment, but also raises the standard globally, I think, for airlines, and that's great for the customer.
Shane, it's been a real pleasure talking to you today.
Great pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.